bottles of wine in this Russian house you told me once, and you guys had to evacuate because the Germans were going to retake the position, and one of the owners was asking you to take the wine, and you guys couldn't take the wine. You didn't
That's
have
when
room
you took
for
the
it.
spoons.
Well, yeah, now that's another story, but, about the same time, we moved into another place, and I got orders to go down and check. Now, these orders came from a higher headquarters, to go down to, a little place, I've forgotten what the name of it, Weinstein or something like that, and protect some museum relics that were stored in a cave down there. They were from the Frankfurt Museum. And they knew that because they picked it up, so we were gonna go down there and protect those relics. When we got down there, we found that the place was booby-trapped, or it appeared to be booby-trapped, and it was. So we had to get the armorers to get in there and check it out. And true enough, we found the museum relics from Frankfurt, but we also found 100,000 cases.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just 1,000, I may have exaggerated now. 1,000 cases or so, that's more like it, of cognac. And a real fine drink. Well, that made me famous right there, see, because the word got out that we had this tremendous store of cognac. Well, I also got some more orders in to close the cave and don't let anybody in.
No receipts?
They kept the liquor out of it now. They were worried more about the liquor than they were about the museum relic. So, just before that had happened, the men had managed to load up one truck with cognac. Just a truckload of it.
Truckload.
And then,
How big was the truck?
but that made a,
Deuce.
you can't imagine what happened
Yeah,
at the,
Daddy, it was about this big.
it was bigger than that. This big.
Oh, man.
And, we had this truckload, and here come these people from all these other headquarters and stuff down there, and, said, well, can't we get in there, you know? Even full colonels and stuff like that, can't you let us get in there, just get, nope, I got orders to keep that place stocked up. But we did get some out, so we'll let you have a little bit of it, you know. So I got famous overnight.
You trade it for other stuff?
Well, we
Stuff
didn't, we
you
weren't
needed?
that foolish, no.
What rank were you then, captain or?
I was a captain, yeah, but I was the most famous
Most
captain.
very powerful
Captain Cognac. Sounds like a
Well, we haul that stuff around with us.
superhero.
Well, I thought there was one time you were somewhere, and you guys had a retreat, I guess, a little bit. The Germans were retaking, and I think it was in Russia, maybe not, or a Russian area. And the lady wanted you to take some bottles of wine or something so the Germans wouldn't steal it, and you couldn't take it. And then many years later, over in Korea, you went to
Oh, well,
dinner.
this is true.
I love when this story starts off. This is true.
Oh, this got to get worked on one more.
Start the tapes over.
The German, Russian, French lady in Korea.
This truckload of stuff that we took, we couldn't get, that was it. But you remember now, we closed the cave,
There it is.
and when we did that, we had orders later on, somebody got orders to distribute that stuff to the Russians and to the German army.
Okay.
It had on it,
You guys can go wrestle in the back of here. Sarah,
where does
I'm not asking
beer
you.
mark only, I don't know, or something like that. I don't know what the German was, but it was stamped across every label then. Well, in 19,
Renee, it's about this big.
about that big, yeah. About 1954, I guess I was in Korea, and we, on the Armistice Commission, the 54 is just, well, that's only 10 or so years later from the war, but that's still a long time, consider thing. We had what they call the Swiss and Swede neutral nations helping us carry out the armistice. And they would have a party, and Czechs and Poles the same way. Those were the 4 neutral nations that helped us with the armistice. They didn't help us, but they tried. And they'd have a party up in at Panmunjom and invited the Armistice Commission up. And so we went up there to this party. And at this particular time, we tried to keep the neutral nations didn't have to keep the communists separated or anything like that. So we could mingle pretty freely with the other side. And, they served wine. Communists served wine, the Chacons. And when they served that wine and, liquor, they, put bottles on the table, right down the middle of the table. And I picked up a bottle and looked at it, cause it looked familiar. Now, how can a bottle of wine look familiar? It was a square, not wine either, it was cognac. It was a kind of a square bottle.
What's a scrape bottle?
Square? It's one like this.
Good explanation.
And, right across that label was Verdunsteville Marconi.
What's a label?
And this is the stuff that we had given
What's a
to them.
label?
We had given to them out of that
What's a label?
Sammy,
catch
Sammy.
we
Sammy,
had
you're
there
gonna
in
have to
Germany,
move.
was now coming back through the Russians, to the Czechs, to the Poles, to us in Korea.
What's a
No.
label?
Huh?
What's that mean?
What's
What's
a
a label?
label?
Yeah.
It's a
A what?
sticker. It's
What's a
sticker.
label?
The label. You said that you
Oh,
looked
the
at
label
the
is
label.
the thing, a picture on the side of a bottle. Okay? Yeah, okay.
I didn't hear that story before. That's interesting.
Well, I was amazed when I saw that sign on there, 'cause I know it came from our cave.